Welcome back, family. It's Tammy. Hi, everyone. Um, thank you for um, the messages that I received. Last week was a really rough week for me. I don't know what was going on. Something was going on with the energy that was coming in, but I just was very, very weepy. I have since dropped that for now and accepted that being a caregiver is a roller coaster ride. You have good days, you don't know what's good, and you have bad days, and you don't know why it's bad, but it is, and that's okay. As long as we can rebound, I'm fine with that. So I want to, um, first of all, just a little funny. I can remember when I was 20, in my 20s, I was working uh, doing adult fitness at Kent State. And in the morning, we people would come in, and these people were 50-year-olds or something. And I was thinking, ah, wow, look at these people trying to hang on to uh, their youth. Well, I am that person now, and it's funny, just to as I'm going and working out, and your uh, your body is not responding the way that you want it to respond. I'm like lift leg, and it's like, no, not now. I just wanted to share that, and I say it, being funny, but also looking forward from where I am in my mid late 50s. I'm late 50s. I'm over the 55 hump, but moving from where I am to the age that my mom is, and just that forward looking is all the things that I'm learning from her. I also want to implement for me. One, because that's my bloodline, and two, because I want to be in as good a shape mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally that I can be as I move into her age, that decade. So, that being said, I heard, I should say, I read my comments, and I haven't gotten to all of them, but I read the comments, and someone asked if I could do a little informational session on best practices for caregivers. And I thought, okay, that's good. Well, when I started looking, it was interesting because it depends on who you are caregiving for. I am caregiving for, obviously, my mother. So my caregiving practices, although they do have a similar thread through them, it's different if you're a caregiver for someone you don't know. Obviously, if that's like your job, I mean, this is my job, but if I am caregiving for my mother, it's going to look different than if I'm caregiving for a cousin or aunt, uncle, um, you know. So, that being said, I have a few things. I have listed them in below where I got my information from, and there's a plethora of places that you can go for information. I love the internet, but it can be information overload sometimes. You get yourself wound up and looking for things. So I want to step back. I also want to preempt this by saying, going forward, or our next session, today is Tuesday, so probably on Thursday, maybe tomorrow, when you're in a caregiving role, especially for someone that you know, it is so important, and I did talk about this, advanced care planning, having those conversations and those talks. And I only bring this up because this is from one of the people I get a lot of information from, NIH, National Institutes of Health. Another piece of information that when you step into the caregiving role, especially for family members, start early on the finance piece, okay? The legal things. And I think I'll do a whole, probably like a two-part session on legal. This is another piece of information, and you can go directly through the National Institutes of Health, and it's actually the Institute on Aging. specifically, but this is so important: legal and financial planning for people living with dementia. And I say that because you never know when you start to see the symptoms, you never know where they are on that spectrum. If they are um, vascular, have vascular dementia, or if they are on the brink of moving into the Alzheimer's. Why is that important? Because even though the brain is making changes, those changes, and again, everybody is different because I don't know everybody's history, health history, but in the beginning, you start to notice things and it can be the progression can be very, very slow versus if you find out later, right? If you're living away from someone and you're just talking to them on the phone, as I was with my mother, voice says one thing, but when I went to the house, it was saying something very different. And so, for those of you who happen to be and have to commute to see your loved one, take a look at everything. Start with the money um, matters. And when I say that, meaning try to make a spreadsheet or collect information on all of the bills, all the utilities, electricity, all get the account numbers, right? For all of what they would pay out. Then again, uh, personal power of attorney, depending on your state. I did not know I had to have one in the different states, Ohio and in North Carolina. But what I'm saying is start on that path to start to collect information because you don't know how much time they have, and you need to probably get yourself on there uh, as a person that can receive information without the person you are caring for being present. Yeah, we are still in some tailspins around all of that because you do it and then some places have a time restriction. Other places you have to do it every year. Some, once you're on there, like a bank account or something like that. So just information on that. And I'm going to work on that. It's probably going to be on Thursday because it's a lot. So I want to look at it and plan it out and try to be as um, organized with that and getting it started. But please, please, please get that information um, up front. So today, I'm going to respond to what someone asked about best practices. And again, you use some common sense, take with it what you can, take from it what you can, and add what you need to. So, first off, best practices for caregiving. And I'm going to give you like six tips. Okay. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's my other one? First of all, I want to let you know, and this was taken from Caring Bridge, 45.3 million people are in a caregiving role that's not professional and you're unpaid. That would be someone like me, where I'm her daughter or a sibling you might be having to care for, not professional caregivers in the United States, but we're not being paid. So then I started thinking, oh boy, here we go. Uh, what kind of rallying, lobbying could happen as a result of this? That's not my forte, but I can come up with the ideas, but I don't always have that expertise to move forward. So if anybody out there, lawyers, doctors, insurance people, um, if you know how to make that happen, especially with our population aging, um, being older, I should say, staying around longer, incurring some illnesses, it is important that we have an option for that. And again, that's a state thing because, the money and all that stuff. But anyway, um, to start stepping into that caregiving role, sometimes you have a choice, sometimes you don't. Um, or I should say, you always have a choice. It's just the options that you choose. So deeply consider what's involved in being and stepping into a caregiver role. It's not an easy task, and I'm not trying to be funny around this. For some people, maybe it is something that's really easy, but again, it goes to what is going on with your person that you're caring for and how independent they are or dependent they will be on you. Practicing open communication. Speak up, have patience, show empathy. Um, Even though they may or may not be able to communicate with you, or they may lose that ability to communicate with you while you are caregiving for them, they will always feel, and this is something that my mom always says, she doesn't want to be a burden. And that just really, really bothers me because she's not a burden. She's my mother. Um, do I always feel like doing everything? No. But is she a burden? Absolutely not. So that's one of the things that she always feels. So I try to give her something to do so that she definitely feels needed and moves away from that. I don't want to be a burden. Okay. Um, I've noticed that I have to ask her if she needs help. You know, that general phrase when you hear someone's passed away, oh, call me if you need some help, or they say, I'm sick, people take off work. Call me if you need anything. Most people will not do that. And I catch myself doing that a lot of times in the sense of, not being very exact, perhaps, cooking their favorite meal. Nothing has to be said, but they appreciate, especially if they're in that non-vocal stage, they would appreciate the fact that you cook their favorite meal or something that they really, really like. Um, it's difficult sometimes to ask for help, even as the caregiver. I've leaned into that lately because I'm not superwoman. I can't do it all. And so sometimes you just have to ask for help. And that help could be just listen to me. I just need to vent right now. I just need to get something off my chest. Okay. Second one, I should say third one, is don't forget to take care of yourself. We talked about that with the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. Take care of yourself. Take those little breaks. You need it. Join a support group. There are plenty in your area to seek them out. Check with your local hospitals or just they may have a senior center in your area. Do your breath. Breath work is so important. Sometimes just sit and listen to your body. How are you breathing? Are you breathing shallow or are you breathing deep from your abdomen? Just taking an inhale, a really long inhale, holding it for a little while, and then releasing it. It makes a difference. Start with just 5, move it to 10, move it to 12. And if you really want to go deep, just 20 and try to start like with your 20 and count backwards. Just nice, long, deep inhales, like a 4 count in. Hold it at the top for 4 and exhale. And you'll feel the bliss start to come over you. And it's going to take a little bit of time because we have monkey brains and we always are like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. If you count the breath and you feel the air going in and out, that will help you significantly. At least it helps me. Okay. Get adequate rest and then chat with someone, especially if you're in the house with that person and it's just you and that person. Talk to somebody on the outside on a regular basis. Okay. Patience, patience, patience. I am still working on that. I have not mastered that, and that's okay because I know that I still have some work to do in that particular area. Not just patience with the person, yes, but patience with yourself. I feel like I need to be doing something, and I think I shared with you. Sometimes I gotta cut that list short because I'm just exhausted, or it's just too much mental or too much emotional on that particular day. But having patience with yourself, don't take things personally. The hardest thing that I said to my mom one day was she was having, I think she had a little cold or something. And I said, Mom, you realize one day you may not know me. Should I have said that? Probably not, but it felt right in the moment. And she got so perturbed and so upset with that. But, I really try to, like I said, stay present and live a life of no regrets. So I said it, but I know there may come one day where she may not recognize me. And so I really have to have patience with myself in knowing just wait it out. Stay on the timeline. When that time comes, we'll be ready for it. I don't know how ready I'll be, but I know that it's gonna come. Okay. Whew. And I also know that she's hurting. She doesn't know why she can't remember. And she's starting to say that a lot. I don't know why I can't hold on to information right now. To throw out a big word and say this is what's going on is not necessarily what she needs. I just share with her, be thankful for your body. Be thankful you can see, even though it's limited. Be thankful that you can hear. She wears hearing aids. Be thankful that you can walk by yourself. Be thankful you can get dressed by yourself. Be thankful that you can, eat by yourself. I don't have to really do much for her. If we go out and it's dark in the restaurant, I'll cut up her food depending on what she has. But thanking your body for as far as it has gotten you in this world. Treating her with respect and dignity because she might have an accident. We all have had accidents. So I'm not going to argue with her. I'm not going to yell with her. We get it cleaned up and keep it moving. So, you know, if she could do better, she would do better. But that's why I'm the caregiver. So I have to constantly remind myself of that too. When she's calling on me and asking for some assistance, I can be tired. Do my breath, get up, and treat her with respect and dignity. Establish boundaries. The comfort zone. It depends on who you are and who you're caring for, but if I'm giving her a shower or a bath or something like that, uh, and we've talked about this, but not a lot because she's still independent in that area for now. But that conversation will be coming up in the near future. And she even said to me the other day, I think I might need help. She prefers to take a bath versus a shower, but getting in and out of the bathtub is an issue. So that means you got to look for resources, and they do have those stools or benches that you can have, but this bathtub is a little too narrow for the stools that I've seen. So for now, it's not really an option. And then remind yourself of your why. Why am I doing this? Because I want to see my mom's beautiful face every single day until I can't see it anymore. I don't want to have to travel to a place to see her or her be in a place where they may not be as respectful or as treat her with much dignity. That happened already in a step down facility or whatever, and it didn't feel good, which is why when we got to this place, I decided I'm going to be the caregiver. Well, it's like peeling an orange. Well, I should say an onion, because it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. As soon as you think you are at a space where you can sort of coast, there's something else you have to do or whatever. And the other thing I would say, this just came to me. I didn't see it in anything, but keep an accurate record all the time of medications. I keep a notebook when I go to the doctor so I can flip back my pages and I can say, hey, this is what we see going on. If ever she has any kind of concerns, I write them in there. So when I go see the doctor, I can bring the issue up and not have to deal with it. And like today, she has to go for an ultrasound tomorrow. So the doctor we went in was going to schedule one. I'm like, hey, we're going in tomorrow. Can you write that order up and maybe we can get a 2-for-1, because otherwise I find myself up and down the road every day trying to get these appointments scheduled. And it becomes a lot because this one can't get you in till 3-4 months from now. And so just for your sanity, if you can even try to have them in 1 week, good luck with that. It just helps keep me sane and to write them down. This one wants the records, this one wants all the medications to be brought in. So if you keep a notebook, you know exactly where, putting the name, when you went to that particular doctor. This is what I find very helpful for me. The phone number right there on that page, what it is, the primary reason that they're going, what they did, if they took any labs, what the goals are, when are you coming back again. So everything is right there on the page. I even take down the vitals, her weight, her temperature, blood pressure, blood sugar on that given day, so that I have that to refer to. And then, of course, the printout that they give you, the after visit summary, is a great comparison. But it's funny because when the doctors see me flipping back my pages, when they ask me a question, I can go right there and ask the question. Also, note, even if you have a calendar or something, note when you start to see symptoms come up, because that's been the biggest thing when you go in. They're like, well, how long have they had this? I know she had a cough, but I'm not sure when it started. So if I can just jot it down on a calendar, it's extremely helpful information to the doctors or wherever it is that you go. So hopefully these little tips have been helpful. I know they're sort of common sense, but when you're in the mix, you forget. And so even as I was doing it, I had to smile at myself and say, wow, okay, I check. Oops, still need some help on that one. And it's okay. Because you know what? Nobody's perfect. And if I made a mistake today, I can fix it tomorrow. I had a bad day last week. I'm much better today. So thank you all. Again, if you have anything you want me to investigate for you, I am more than willing to do that. Peace and blessings to you all, and Happy New Year. I think I said it before, but Happy New Year again. Love you.